What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're checking out this 2025 Kia EV6. So this one is the GT line all-wheel drive long range. MSRP is $60,700 and this one's finished in the wolf gray. So let's see what Kia's EV6 has to offer. They've done a couple little updates to add to the cool style with this crossover, and I've always honestly been pretty fond of what the EV6 has to offer. It's a really good electric car overall. We can pop this clamshell style hood, and underneath you actually are going to get a mini little trunk in here. Got a little bit of storage, which is a pretty cool touch. Now this is a fully electric car, so you are going to find an 84 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery. This makes 320 horsepower with 446 pound-feet of torque. This one's all-wheel drive. We got a 0 to 60 time at 5 seconds and a 270 mile range with curb weight at 4,700 pounds. Towing is even 2,700 pounds. So if we close all this and then take a look at the styling, I really like these updated headlights. Got a really sweet look to them. You can see how we have this light and it kind of cuts down with the body color in between it. Got a nice light in the center with a forward-facing camera. All of your parking sensors, gloss black trim throughout it. It's a really cool looking car. I think they've always looked really neat, and I just love this updated front end. It definitely looks super cool. You got the clamshell hood and then these nice sharp lines on it. And we have a cool set of 20-inch wheels. Got a dual tone color with a nice multi-spoke look, and then your body colored trim pieces around the fender arches. You're gonna see some black trim throughout the side, and then one sharp body line, and then a lot of curvature throughout the bodywork. This even has power folding side mirrors with the integrated turn signal and camera, and then all gloss black for the A-pillar and all around the windows. Up above, we have a nice panoramic roof for the front, and then just the shark fin antenna. And the door handles are pretty neat. They will pop outwards as well when you walk up to it or lock or unlock it. Side profile is pretty cool. It's got a unique style to it once again. Sloping rear end, a lot of rounded areas throughout the wheel arches, and then we have an integrated spoiler throughout the roof line. There's even a light underneath it, and then I like that black trim kind of cutting off that roof. In back we have a nice LED bar as well, which is a really cool look. The whole thing will light up. We have some chrome trim throughout that, and then a nice reflector cutting into the bodywork. In the back you're going to see that more chrome trim cutting through the back, all your badging, gloss black trim, sensors, rear view backup camera, and then over on this side you're going to see that charge port. So pressing that, we can easily open it up and then press the button again and close it. So it's a cool looking car overall. Now for the key fob, you got this cool white color on it. The Kia name will even light up when you press different buttons, and then we have our lock button up on top, and we can remote start it. So if I go ahead and remote start it, it's going to turn the vehicle on. You can see the lights turning on, and then a cool feature with a lot of these modern Kias, especially the electric ones, you're going to see the smart park feature. So I can actually drive this car using the key fob itself. So holding down this back button, you can hear that, and we are driving the car with the key fob. So a great way to move the car out of your driveway or garage if you don't feel like hopping in it. I was sitting in my house and I moved this out my driveway so I could better get things out of my garage. So cool touch for sure. It's a fun feature to play with. Pressing that, we turn it off and then unlock everything once again. So for the cargo area, we have a power operated liftgate as expected. There's a button back here next to your camera too. And then we have a lot of hidden storage space. So there's going to be more of that storage underneath the floor. And then there's even these levers on the right and left side where you can easily fold down those seats. There's a privacy cover too. Very easily we can take that off. And we have a lot of space, as you can tell, with the seat up versus the seat down. Then up above, we can just press the button, close it. And because we have that sloping rear end, I will say big boxes and things, it's not the biggest car when you really load it up. We had this pretty loaded, and I actually had to put some boxes in the front seat too. So nonetheless, it still is roomy, just it's not the biggest thing in the world. Seats are going to fold nice and flat. We got a recline lever here. And then for these seats, while they do recline, honestly, you're going to want them all the way reclined for the most part. So from here, we have a 3-seat bench row, and then in the center, you can even pull this down, and we have a nice armrest and cup holders. You can even slide that to give you more space. So cool way to configure it. You're going to see some of this nice color. We have the USB ports, and there's air vents on the backs of those pillars. You have some soft touch material on the door panel, and I like the interior color combination. And then sitting back here, not too bad, fully reclined. With that privacy cover, it actually kind of hinders how far you can recline these. But nonetheless, pretty comfortable back seat actually, with it all the way reclined. Good armrest, honestly can't complain. Even with a rear facing car seat, got enough room in between this seat, and I can actually comfortably sit up there. So not a bad family car either. Got storage behind these seats as well. And then if we go ahead and hop into the front seat, got those cool door handles. You're gonna get a bit more soft touch material for the door panel. You have memory seating, all those controls, a Meridian audio system, and then power controls on these seats. You're gonna see the perforated leather, the nice white color too. It's a really cool looking interior, especially in this color combination. Hopping inside, foot on the brake, we can fire it up. All the electronics are going to turn on, and one thing cool on the pedals, we have a plus and a minus sign too, which is a unique touch. So from here, with the interior, we have this nice two-tone on the steering wheel, Kia name on here as well. There's these paddle buttons back here, which are for your regenerative braking. You can easily adjust that. We have controls on the left side for cruise control, as well as the center screen, and then audio over on the right with your drive select down below. So you have a couple different modes you can play with, which is a nice touch to see. You can see how that will affect your range as well. And then for the screen, you can configure it, see a couple different things that are going to pop up, which is a nice touch. You have your turn signal cameras as well for better visibility. Stalk on the right for windshield wipers, some headlights over on the left stalk. And then we have the interior dimming, the charge port, we have the electronic park and brake, and there's going to be ambient lighting all throughout it. Got this really cool textured material throughout the dashboard, which I like a lot. Got a GT line name, more of that cool texture, heads-up display system, and then this is kind of your typical screen for any modern Kia. So really simple with these large tiles, can't complain, it's just really easy to operate. You also have the EV icon as well, where you can monitor a couple different things. If we go ahead and put it into reverse, we have a nice backup camera with HD graphics, top-down view, several different views you can play with, and then there's even a 360 design. So nice to see all that. Now down below we have this pad, which is all of your climate controls. As you can tell, I can do my temperature, the fan speed, different zones and everything like that. You can then toggle that icon, and we're gonna have some of your media controls. We have volume on the left, tuning on the right, shortcuts all throughout it. One thing I like, this is now I think set up better to where it will stay on climate control. It basically stays on whatever you leave it on. Maybe that was a setting I was missing in the previous model years that I've driven, but that was one of my complaints with the car, is it always defaulted back to here, which I don't like. I like having climate control always available. So that's nice to see. There's gonna be plugs all down below. We have hidden storage underneath the center tunnel, heated and ventilated seats with a heated steering wheel, more ambient lighting, cool color throughout it, and then some shortcut icons as well. Got your charge pad, storage, and then a nice glove box. Glove box on the right side as well, pretty large. And just a good overall look at the interior. It's pretty cool in here. Good use of materials, very comfortable overall. Got the small sunroof up here, and then just a couple of those controls, and then garage door buttons underneath the mirror. So setting off now in the EV6. So we've had a couple of these over the last several years to test out. Honestly, I've been a pretty big fan of these. I think if you really want something just nicely well-rounded and just a good overall car, this is a great choice if you want an electric crossover. I really have no major complaints. So with this one, we got the nice drive modes. We'll go into just the normal drive mode. It kind of drives the way you would expect. This isn't the fastest one available. However, this is almost at the top in terms of all-out power, but we also still do have a pretty good range to make this very useful. Now, build quality, I like how tough these things feel. Going really fast over those train tracks, I mean, this thing drives really solid. There's really nothing crazy about that. It drives really good. If we go to sport mode, that's gonna make the throttle a lot more touchy, and you're gonna get all the power out of this, which it still packs a good punch. Right up to speed without even thinking. So nice to see that. With the paddles, we have the several different levels of the regen braking. If you take your foot off the throttle, you start to slow down. We can go into the max as well, where it really slows you down. So nice to see all of that. And then if we just tone it back to normal mode, just to make throttle not as touchy, it's a comfortable car. I feel like I can fit in the seat nicely and get it in a good position. You have a good view around with all the visibility. The mirrors all do a great job. Over your right and left shoulder, really can't complain either. You have a really good view overall. Of course, the camera system works very nicely. So it's a good driving car. It's also really quiet. You got the 20-inch wheels, which aren't the crazy biggest things out there, but you know, translates to a nice smooth ride. You don't really hear any wind noise or road noise. You're really just hearing the climate, if anything. So nice to see just a comfortable, good to be in vehicle. And then as far as handling and just the driving dynamics, this is fun to drive. The steering has a decent response to it. It's not a sports car, but you know, the way it drives, It's planted on the road, the brakes work well, the steering feels nice. It is a fun car to zip around. If you want to have a little bit of fun, just kind of getting up to speed, going around some turns, you know, it's going to do that pretty good. As far as the 0 to 60, it is pretty snappy. If we do a little launch, and right up to speed without thinking. So it's just a well-rounded electric crossover. Again, just no major complaints with it. The way it drives is really nice. Now, using the technology while driving is also very easy. The center screen gives you all the info you're gonna need without being overcomplicated, and I like how these large tiles make it to where you don't have to try to find this little tiny icon with the touchscreen, and this textured area is a good spot to kind of rest your hand and give you a little bit better control over the screen. So I like just how simple everything is. Climate, same thing, it's pretty straightforward, and I like how it's always here. So I think they may have done an update, or maybe there's a setting I didn't have checked on the older EV6s that we've driven, but I didn't like how it would always default back to the media stuff. I like it to where it's always on climate, because I'm always constantly changing the temperature and fan speed. So it's simple. It's a little small to touch these, so the fan speed icon isn't my favorite, but you know, overall you get used to it pretty well, and it's quite nice. Got the good ambient lighting too, so it feels inviting in here. All of your different controls, heated and ventilated seats. So it's very well equipped, and it's a nice to drive car for sure.